Alright, it's Tuesday the 8th of October 2024, another NAS and ES journal. So straight into it on the daily. Let's just go to the weekly. So we see here on the weekly that we are respecting this weekly fair value gap still. We could see some upside movement today, considering we have now swept quite a lot of sell side. So we set the daily previous low. Yesterday we swept a lot of sell side liquidity, which was good. But if I was too long today, it would have to be below midnight opening price here. Well, I prefer it to anyway. So what I look for, say if we get like a retracement into here, say if it goes into equilibrium and doesn't hit midnight opening price, then I'll observe obviously the lower time frame price action, see what happens. But we are inside of a 1 hour fair value gap right now. 4 hour are we? Yeah, we're also inside of a 4 hour fair value gap too. So we could see some sort of rejection off of this area. As we can see on the 4 hour, we are actually bearish, causing a breaker structure. Well, I say breaker structure, it's only wicking it really, but I do think we are going down. We have got several areas of buy sell side liquidity here. So what I'm saying is, if we do look for longs, then obviously I need to observe price action properly. But we have still got a lot of sell side liquidity that needs taken. So what I'm thinking is buy New York Open. If we get possibly, you know, maybe this 1 hour order block here, you've entered into that. Get rid of that. Is it a 4 hour order block too? Yeah, so it's also a 4 hour order block as well. So yeah, if we enter that 4 hour order block, I think, and we're New York opens, and I think we've got a good chance in some bearish momentum, because also while we have swept daily previous lows, we've swept Asia lows in London, then pushed up. We have got London lows still waiting to be swept. Asia London highs been swept. You've got all these areas of liquidity here that have been built up. So I do feel that maybe today is the day that price takes out this liquidity. But who knows? We'll just see what happens. But we've got several factors that will make price potentially go down. So yeah, on the news perspective, let's quickly get that up. There's no high impact news today. No, only yellow fold news, which isn't anything major that will affect the currency majorly. So take into account, it's going to be like yesterday, where I'm going to be very laid back, sit on my hands, and just be patient for a decent setup. So yeah, I'll be back for New York Open. We're starting to see some downside movement from this 4 hour / 1 hour fair value gap. I'm obviously not going to enter yet. We've got just over 10 minutes until New York Open, but I just wanted to say on the 15 minute we've had a market structure shift. Same on the 5 minute. And if I put the fib out of the 1 hour range, we can see here that obviously if we was to go down to sweep sell side liquidity and we get an entry here, I'll probably just end target around equilibrium. We've got a lot of fair value gaps that need to be taken. There's lots of liquidity that needs to be taken on the sell side area of it. So I think potentially that is a good area too, and we are above midnight opening price as well, which is another confluence. Still on the 1 hour, we haven't even hit a 1 hour fair value gap, as we can see here. 4 hour with 4 minute fair value gap. So I do think there is potential movement to the downside, but I just need the right confirmations, and I don't really want to enter pre-New York because I know how volatile price can be. Looking for a market structure shift will be very hard as well. But we'll just see what happens. We're going into the optimal trade entry area of the 5/50 minute fib into a 50-minute order block. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, what would be really nice is if price went all the way up, sweeping this liquidity into the 1 hour / 4 hour order block. That could be a really nice setup. But we just got to be patient, really. And that is that. So yeah, We have kind of got a 5-minute market structure shift to the upside, but I do believe that we more likely are looking towards to take some sell side PD arrays. So yeah, this is what I hate about UK time. Like, I wish I lived in New York, or this time zone, because then I could wake up early, do my stuff, and then be fresh on the charts. Where like now I'm waiting the anticipation for New York Open. Like, I don't like it, but it is what it is. ES, I haven't actually looked at ES, stupidly enough. It's an ES, it's a NAS and ES journal. Let's get rid of that. Very similar to the daily. On the 4 hour, we are approaching a 4 hour order block as well. We are inside of a 4 hour, or we've been in a 4 hour value gap. So now we look at this. On ES we are in a 4 hour order block, but on NAS we're not. So that's another thing. On the 5 minute, let's look at that, NAS and ES. Okay, interesting, cool. We've got a bearish SMT here. If this will move out of the way. 5 minute SMT divergence. And as we can see, we're seeking to push the upside. NAS is probably going to do that as well. But yeah, it's price action. Well, I can't talk too much yet until New York Open, but compared to pre-market price action from yesterday, this is much better than yesterday, so I'm happy. Let's mark out midnight open price. No. That's it. Cool. So yeah, there is several reasons that we could short. Obviously, the 1 hour order block is here, so maybe we see a bit of a push up. But on NAS, we can see the order block is inside of the 4 hour order block on this one. But yeah, it's all lining up pretty well, which I like. If we actually see this here, the 0.79 fib, the optimal trade entry fib, is actually aligned near on pinpoint on the 30-minute order block. Very similar on the 1 hour order block, so it is all aligning pretty well. So yeah, this is what I like to see. We've entered the optimal trade entry area of the fib on the 50-minute range. We're seeing a rejection now. So yeah, again, it's looking pretty good. Let's mark out this fair value gap and see if we inverse it, because these type of things are really interesting to me. If you can't find a market structure shift, it is good to find inverse fair value gaps, because obviously, as we see here, you can't find a market structure shift because obviously they're all bullish candles. But if you can't find that, then inversion fair value gaps is a good way to look at it as well. So yeah, that's my opinion. We are 6 minutes away from market open, and I do feel like we are bearish today. But if price goes high, it goes high. As it is. End of the day, you can have the wrong analysis, but doesn't mean you'll take a wrong trade, because what I mean by that is I might think they're going down, but then New York session will prove to me they're going up, so it just changes my opinion and the bias. So it's just all about being patient and seeing how price action acts at New York Open. So yeah, we'll see then. It's been New York Open with a massive push up. Now I want to see this market structure shift, because this will be a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, and 5 market structure shift. That's what I like to see. While inversing this 5 minute fair value gap, there'll be a multiple amount of confidences. Pretty much an A plus setup for me. If we close below this, I'm looking for an entry. So yeah, that is my intentions right now. I hope we don't. I hope we don't feel this fair value gap up until we actually. There we go. Cool. Hopefully we get retracing up instead of pushing all the way down. That's what I'd really like to see. And then yeah, that will be the intentions today. don't like it. We're just wicking it. We're just wicking it, and that's what I don't like to see. Has to close. It ain't really the kind of thing I like to see, but having known this, it does save you quite a lot from taking bad trades. I want it to close bearish. Yeah, okay, we closed it bearish, but we'll see if we inverse this fair value gap. But yeah, now look, because we wicked it, let's put it straight. Because we've wicked it, it's clearly a sweep of liquidity and possibly go up higher. And I'm not bothered if it goes up higher because obviously we're going into this 4-hour/1 hour order block. So to me, it doesn't bother me too much. On ES, on the other hand, very similar, but we didn't have like a wick below, like we're just rejection off a fair value gap, which is good. But yeah, that is what I am seeing at the moment. We are now on the 4-hour fair value gap order block, and then there's a 1-hour order block above. We'll see which one it rejects off of. NAS, what am I seeing? Right. So now it's rejecting off this 1 minute order block. Well, if it counts as that. But yeah, interesting. Interesting price action. ES is now coming down after this 1 hour block, which to me does look pretty good. Very interesting. How, you know, usually NAS and ES correlate quite well, but NAS is going up, ES is going down. But now we have actually caused, if I'm not mistaken, a bullish SMT if this doesn't break this low. Here. Oh no, we haven't caused a bullish SMT. What am I talking about? I'm being silly. We are rejection off this fair value gap area. But there's no confirmation to go down yet for me. ES is looking good. Right, we've closed below that. We could see a potential entry. ES is looking pretty good, I can't lie. That's interesting. Price action here doesn't look good, in my opinion. Rejection off this 15-minute fair value gap. ES, rejection off a 15-minute order block, but you just got to be careful. We've got a 5-minute market structure shift as well. And we are now rejection off this 4-hour order block, which is interesting, in my opinion. This could be a potential entry, but there's nothing interesting that we can get from NAS at the moment, but I want to be careful with this range. 5-minute, we've got a market structure shift. Got a 5-minute breaker here as well. Oh, if I can mark that out. It's hard to like look at both assets at the same time. I've got 2 screens right now, but it's just hard to look at both of them. I don't want to. Obviously, I don't have FOMO, but it wouldn't be nice to miss an entry. Rejection off this inverse fair value gap, it seems. Yeah, we are. This could be a pretty nice entry, but no. We haven't respected this 1-minute order block. I might have an entry here. Oh, no. Have I missed it? No, I haven't. Why is it not doing an entry? There we go. Finally. Oh, okay. Now it's just glitched. Oh, what's happened here? I'm going to quickly close. once it goes to break even, I'm going to have to close it out because it's clearly glitched. Come on, just go and break in. Do me a favour. It's the thing's fault, not mine. Come on. Do me a favour and go just to break even because I want to close it out because it's not fair. Definitely not fair. Right, close that out there because it's not. There you go. Re-entered. Okay, that was a bad entry, but it's gonna have to do. It's a bit annoying, but it happens. Right, might actually put. I might risk just a tiny little bit more because I wanted my stop loss to be there. 1,100 down there. Okay. We have got an entry. We'll just see what happens. Actually, I'm gonna do a little muted one. Alright, stop loss has been here. I'm not actually too bothered because it was actually a really good trade. So let's look at this. Right, so this $175 win is obviously the mistake I made earlier, but that wasn't my fault. That was TradingView's fault. I pressed and sell, nothing was happening, and then I pressed it again, then pressed it again, and then it all just came in together. So I ended up closing out in profit, luckily. The trade itself, though, in my opinion, it was an A+ setup. As you see here, NAS has actually pushed up quite a lot. We could see, I do personally think there is going to be a movement to the downside today from this 4-hour order block into this 1-hour order block now. That's what I personally think. If not, then fine, but that's what I personally feel. So let's get into a trade recap. Right, so cool, we had a big shoot up into the 4-hour order block. Straight away, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute and 5 minute, we had a market structure shift. Don't think 15 minute, no. So really, we was actually kind of just respecting this 15-minute range, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I've lost, it doesn't matter. So yes, it's just gone into the 1-hour order block as well, so I'm going to get rid of this 4-hour one. Cool, so what's happened is we had a market structure shift in all those time frames: 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. Then I entered, and then obviously that mistake happened where it all made me enter like 6 contracts accidentally. Sorry, ended up exiting obviously in profit, luckily. But when I did get an entry, it was very poor. I wanted it out the fair value gap, but it didn't. Price respect to this inversion of fair value gap and pushed down, pushed up, swept those highs, looked like a total sweep, and pushed all the way back down again, going to like $300 in profit, I think. And then we're just consolidating constantly. It's pretty disgusting. It's just accumulating, really. This could be an AMD setup we're looking here if we get this rejection down. Cool. So then after that, yeah, so basically on the 15-minute, I noticed we go into a 4-hour order block, which I've just deleted. After that, we get straight away a 5-minute all the way down to 1 minute market structure shift. I entered on the retracement. It is a bit below the equilibrium range, but that's where I just wanted to enter. And then, yeah, I targeted 1 hour of the equilibrium of the 1 hour range, and it went into profit, drawdown, profit, drawdown, drawdown, profit. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. To me, it's an A+ setup, hit all my confidences. So, yeah, it is what it is. End of the day, what do you do about it, except from just learn? But, yeah. Cool. Also, I noticed when we got that market structure shift, we also swept these pre-market highs, which is clearly accumulating here. All those buy stops, which is good. But yeah, we just didn't get the good trade today. I mean, now we are pushing out of this. Range, out of this order block, which is not nice to see. But I personally felt we was going to go down today. But yeah, what can you do? I'm going to put my thing here like that. What can you do at the end of the day? There's not much you can do. But yeah, we're probably going to be taking out some Buy-Side Liquidity now. But we are in this 1 hour order block and we're seeing a bit of a rejection from it, only a little bit of a rejection. But yeah, no more trades from me today. This is the P&L of the overall count. We are under 2%. I think it is, what is it? It has to be about 1.3, 1.4%. No. So half of 500 is 250. So about 1.6, 1.7% in drawdown. Nothing major. We can make that in one trade. So I am not bothered. I'm not going to let the loss get to me because this was an A+ setup and I was very happy with what I saw. We had a close and everything, closed below this on the 1 minute, closed below it on the 2 minute, 3 minute, and closed below it on the 5 minute. So to me, it was a good entry. We clearly just swept out these pre-session lows and pushed up, which is fine. But I really was expecting to have some downside pressure today, considering we are in like a 1 hour I mean, we're in a high time frame bearish range really, but clearly, as we set the daily previous low, clearly now we're pushing up. Just like yesterday, what happened, we set the daily previous low, pushed up. But yesterday I was right. In the PM session, we had a massive push down, which I anticipated. So yeah, as we can see, we had that push up. But what we could have had was a potential retracement down into this range and then push up, which we didn't get, sadly. But I do think we are going to have a push down, at least in the PM session, to take some sell side PD arrays. There's a lot of inefficiencies left. Because this two bearish candles hasn't it's taken an hour candle low, but hasn't taken any like fair value gaps or anything. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. If you get a market structure here, market structure shift, sorry, here, and then there's a possible entry, but yeah, there's not really much I can really say about that, except from, if I really wanted to, I can trade about 0.5%, which would make it, if we lose it, we'd be in 2% drawdown. But it's no biggie at the end of the day. On NAS, we are constantly just pushing up as well. I think we're about to sweep the daily previous highs. No, we're not. It's all the way up there. So, and considering that like we are above the minute open price, I didn't really want to long anyway. But it seems that we ain't stopping going up, so we'll just see what happens. But there's a long way to go up until we sweep daily previous highs. But who knows, price might actually do it, so I personally think it's a good setup, and there's not much I can really do about it really. There's several reasons. You know, we had a breaker here as well, and it was on all of the time frames in pretty much the same spot. We had a breaker here. Price was rejecting off of that at one point. But clearly there was, you know, the price wanted to go higher, so there's not much you can really do about it really at the end of the day. But yeah, so that's it for me trading wise. I will be probably back to do like an analysis on what's happened in the market, but good risk management. I will say what happened with trading really annoyed me, because I had a good entry, but it made me enter like 6 contracts, so I was lucky to get out and profit really quickly, which has actually helped me today in the sense of which I've lost. So I've actually lost today 550 minus 175, which I'll quickly work out. I've only lost $375 today, which is probably like 0.6 to 0.7%. I ain't gonna risk any more, but this is probably, if we get a inversion fair value gap here and then a market structure shift, we're probably going to hopefully anyway get the push down we wanted. I mean, on a 15-minute, what does that look like? It's just entering the 15-minute fair value gap really, but we are leaving a lot of sell-side liquidity now. We've got equal lows down here. I'm going to quickly just mark that out in a better way. Equal lows there. Got liquidity here, and we've got all of these fair value gaps I need filling. So, in my opinion, I do feel at some point price is going to go down, but it's just a matter of fact of when. But no biggie. It's one of them things in trading. I will say though, hypothetical trading, my trading was much better. I was taking much more wins and losses, but I think that's just a psychological aspect and the confidence of it all. But I'll get there. I know I will. It's going to take time. I'm not in a rush. But yeah, it's what it is. So yeah, what I'll do is I'm just going to give it a few hours. Or if I get what I wanted to see, I'll come back. But yeah, I'm going to go take a break and I'll come back. So yeah, see you then. Also, one last thing before I go, actually, just looking at the daily, I have to take into consideration of what we're looking at. We set the daily previous low and now we're pushing up. And we are rejecting off this weekly fair value gap. So really I need to look at it in the sense of that, you know, it was bullish because price was pushing, because obviously we swept the sell side liquidity into a weekly fair value gap. So clearly we are going to have a push up. Just price action was telling me otherwise when I shorted. But if New York opened made a retracement into the equilibrium area, I would have probably longed with the correct price action. But we got that sweep of daily previous low all the way in London, and actually it's really nice. You see here that sweep and it pushes all the way up, retracement in. If we got this in New York, it would have been lovely. Didn't hit equilibrium, but I could have entered possibly here. But it'd been a really bad entry though. But yeah, is what it is. Clearly on the high time frame it was bullish, but I was expecting that retracement down because on the 1 hour it was, to me, it was clearly overbought. There were several areas that needed filling, but it just didn't happen at the end of the day, and I can't do it. So yeah. Right, a few things have happened. I just wanted to say one thing which I've noticed. See this line? This is the weekly opening price. See how we've only wicked it and we're rejecting off of it. Well, I say rejected, I'm talking too premature, but see how it's wicked it, and once we've hit that area, the volume has changed. Look on ES, we've inversed this fair value gap now. We've hit this area here, but it's created again an equal low. There's a lot of equal lows that have been created, and I'm really expecting now that price to go down. Cool. If we get this closer below this, yeah, we have. Looking at a market structure shift, you could really look at a trade. I mean, I would personally risk now 0.5%, and yeah, I mean, I can do that based on my plan. Okay, well, I've entered. Oh, maybe I've over-risked. I think I have. Okay, well, I've over-risked, but yeah. But I've done this because I haven't lost my full buffer that I can lose up to. Also, we respected this 1 hour order block as well. I will look for a push down. I want to break this low here, close below it, and then I want to move my stop loss to about here, possibly. Or should I move it here? I might put that there. Now, I think if it goes anything above here, then we're in danger really. We'll put that there, and that will hit the 500, well, around that buffer. We'll be able to hit this fair value gap here, but I do feel now we're looking at a potential push down to at least take some sort of liquidity. So yeah, I'll be back. close where I was because I've realised that I'm just now revenge trading. Closed out. There's no point in having that trade. Although I do think it's a good setup, I'm just not going to trade it because I'm just revenge trading, and I'm not going into it with the right mind. So I'm just going to close up there. It's not smart. I'm not even going to do a recap because it's stupid to do that because, yeah, basically all I saw was a 4-hour order block, 1 minute market structure shift inversing this fair value gap. To me, there's a lot of confidences. I do think price does need to take out some sales liquidity, and I do have confidence that this trade will do it. But I need to understand, am I taking this based on pure analysis or just revenge trading to get my money back? I'm doing it to get my money back. Fine, my risk was good, but there's just no point entering if my intentions is to get my money back rather than actually have a good trade. I need me to still, in a sense, detach myself from the money aspect. So yeah, obviously I stopped it at break even here, as you can see. P&L's the same, and look, because it's a no news day, it's just annoying how price is reacting. I mean, we rejected off this 1 minute order block / 1 minute inversion fair value gap, but for me personally, there's just no point in having the trade. I think it is going to go down. I have a bit of confidence at the end of the day, but there's so much sales liquidity, so much. I mean, on the 1 hour, there's so many areas where price can go down to. I mean, even the 1 hour range of this to this, close. Oh well, we have it equilibrium with that range, to be fair. So yeah. On the other hand, NAS is starting to go down now, which is nice to see. You see we are in profit, but I think what I've done, even if price goes to my take profit, I know in my head I've done the right thing. I rather be in break even, not like exiting this trade early, than taking a trade that hasn't properly, like, it is. I've entered it with the wrong intentions, and if you enter it with the wrong intentions without a proper clarity to it and you win it, you don't really deserve to win it. You have to enter it like this trade here that I lost. Fine, not bothered about this loss because to me it was a A+ setup. This is a good setup as well, but I just need to look in the sense of, am I entering to revenge trade and get my money back, or am I entering because this is generally a good trade? Both really, but it shouldn't be both. It should just be because it's a good trade. I've had clarity. I've looked into it deeply. All my confidence has been hit, and that's what I did. So yeah. The thing is, when you see a big push in the other direction from a higher time frame area and interest, that to me is an indication that we're possibly going to go down and seek some sell side PDRAs, whether it's liquidity, fair value gaps, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and as you see here, price action is just ugly, man, and it's because it's a no news day. I hate how price action is, but I'm happy that I did exit, because even if we win, I didn't deserve that win. We're probably about to get stopped out now. Obviously, if I was in the trade, which I'm happy that I exited, but win or loss, same emotion. Let's look on ES, how ES is doing. So we haven't actually inversed this fair value gap, whereas on ES we have. We haven't entered the 1 minute order block properly yet, but we are rejecting somewhat off of this here. Ooh. Price nearly hit it, but it's respecting this inversion fair value gap. Let's look tomorrow really quickly. Oh, wow, look at the volume now. So for tomorrow, I think we do have red folder news, but it is later in the afternoon. Yeah, I was right. At 7 PM my time, so that would be 65432, 2 PM New York time, which I won't be there for. But yeah. No, it still hasn't closed below here. But yeah, that trade, the risk management wise, it was good though. Because if I lost, I would have lost about 500, maybe a bit above. And that is 1% of the day. So risk management was good there. See this consolidation, it's not nice. But how I see it, we've consolidated here. and then that big wick up here is a manipulation to me, and then a push down. That's what I would have liked. I call accumulation consolidation, I just call it a sideways range. But look at it, it's just disgusting. Who wants to trade in these conditions? I definitely wouldn't. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. 4 hour. Yeah, so that would have been stopped out in this trade then. But we're now in this 2 minute order block actually. Market shark shift down, 2 minute order block. Interesting actually, that's actually kind of nice. That is kind of nice. Tapped into it, boom, look at the rejection. Now, this here would be very nice to look at. Obviously I'm not going to enter, but it'd be very nice to look at. From that 2 minute order block, is it a 3 minute order block? Yeah, well, kind of. We haven't broke structure on the 3 minute for it to be a 3 minute order block, but 2 minute, yeah. Let's get rid of that. Still respecting that inversion fair value gap. See the candle. This is what I'm saying. This ain't accidental. See how the candle closes below, like or on it, and the wick is only above. It's to show that there's still bearish volume in the market, looking to potentially go, not definitely, but potentially go down. We get this break of structure here. I'm very confident price is going down. Break this structure and close below, even below here. Very confident price is now going to seek some sell side PD arrays. What's happened? See here? Did not respect it. Oh, it did respect it, sorry, what I'm talking about. And broke structure to the upside. So we've caused a... what's that? 10.13. 10.21. Interesting price action from both of them actually. Prices seem to reject off this 1 minute order block here. Now, I'll be super confident price going down if we get a breaker structure here, move up, retracement, boom. That would be a very nice setup. See, it's 2 minute order block, lovely. But what I also noticed is that made that little push down, it actually entered a 15 minute fair value gap and a 5 minute one, and then got that push up. But yeah, I'll be back on any progress in the markets. Also, something else I wanted to note out. So yeah, now we've pushed up quite high. So I wanted to quickly note out that yesterday, pre-market, I think it was either Asia or London, we swept at a daily previous high, and then we had a big push down. Today, pre-market, we had a daily previous low swept and then a push up. So what I've learned, or maybe in a lot of cases, it could be a high probability that if price sweeps a lot of sus liquidity pre-market, maybe that it shows that price is intending to go upwards. In New York, session. So that's what I'm thinking right now. We have set the daily previous high on NAS. ES we haven't. This could cause a bearish SMT. As we see here, could get a potential market structure shift. Could be actually a good trade, in my opinion. This would be the 1 minute market structure shift. It'd be nice if we got a 1 minute market structure shift while inversing this 5 minute fair value gap. That'd be very nice. It'd be a very nice setup to take. And seeing that here, we also got, let's actually get rid of all that. So I have to do it manually. We have got a where is it? Cool. So on the 1 hour, equilibrium is at this area where there's a lot of sell stops built in this accumulation phase, which is a good confluence. So, you know, again, I've got some money I can risk because I haven't reached my $500 / 1% buffer, because today I've lost, what did I lose? 375, so 500 minus 375. I've got 125 to trade with, and again I could just call it a day, but if I find this out then I might risk that. Because we've set a really strong area of buy-side liquidity, but we're still respecting this 1 minute range, but this is an optimal area to look for potential entries. But yeah, it's also entered a 1 hour order block. Interesting. Okay, this is a potential A+ setup. Very interesting, that is. Okay, let's go to the 1 minute. See how we enter that and push down. This is very, very optimal now. I'd like to see a push down. And you know what? If we see an A+ setup, I'm entering, obviously with the correct risk. ES hasn't swept the daily previous high, but does not mean anything bad. Although we have entered a 4 hour fair value gap on ES. So we are on both assets. We are in a very important area of interest. But NAS is the more optimal. Sweep of daily previous highs into a 1 hour order block. Very optimal, that is, if you ask me. Also, we have got this 5 minute fair value gap we've got to be careful of here. Right here. Maybe I should really start waiting until 9:45 above, because then I would have probably not taken the entry and not had an entry by now. I hear a lot of people say trade at the macro 950 to 1010, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. So I'd like to see this push below here, and then we've got like a breaker here, breaker here. No, that's not a breaker, but this is a breaker. My apologies, that would be nice. But we're respecting this 1 minute order block. But if we disrespect that, make a market structure shift, there's a lot of confidence to think that price will be going down. And if not, even if we get a sweep of these highs and then another market structure shift, again, even better. Expect more buy side. So yeah, that's how I see it. But because it's a no news day, price action isn't actually that nice. As you see on ES, price is respecting this 5 minute fair value gap, but it's rejected off that 4 hour fair value gap. I needed to realise that we swept a lot of sell-side liquidity this morning, and hence why now price wants to seek buy side. Maybe that's a thing I should take into consideration when looking at pre-market, is what liquidity has been swept beforehand, so you know where price could go with its intention that, you know, a lot of sell side has been swept, now it's looking for buy side. So yeah. Okay, a 2-minute market chart shift in the same area as the 5-minute. You need to inverse this 5-minute value gap before I look at any sort of entries. But yeah, I'll keep the journal updated. Right guys, cool. Ended up getting stopped out and break even. No problem at all whatsoever. It was to me, it was a A+ trade. Here's why. Let's do a trade recap. Cool. So on the daily, we see that we ended up sweeping daily previous highs. Yes, have we? No, we didn't. So we still are at that fair value gap level. We've just been consolidating then, I take it, because we've been there for... Oh, look at price action. Blech, disgusting. Because it's a no news day. Ugh, it is disgusting. All right, so on the daily, we sweep daily previous highs. Cool. We'll go to the 4 hour, and even the smallest things like a 1 hour order block above, this daily previous high, you know, the daily previous high, right? So this really strong drawn liquidity has been swept into a 1 hour bearish order block. Cool, right? Now let's look for shorts. Like we are overbought on the 1 hour and 4 hour completely. It's time to rebalance this this leg. Got a few fair value gaps I need to fill in. I think it's time to rebalance that leg. Cool. So what I did was, after that, I noticed that we inversed this fair value gap, this 1 minute fair value gap, which is an important confluence. Then we had a 1 minute market structure shift, and that was here. So it was initially here, but we wicked it, came up, and then the next structural leg down, that was the market structure shift. Cool. And then the more noticeable time frame was the 3 minute for me, with this 3 minute fair value gap, which also I put my fib out on the 3 minute range, is also like 2 minute, 1 minute range as well. And equilibrium was perfectly aligned with the 3 minute fair value gap, so I entered right at equilibrium. My stop loss was it here initially, and I was risking $265. So it was a bit over 0.5%, if I'm not mistaken. But then I did reducing it based on the fact that, you know, I was over risking, and I say over risking because I lost 375 today. I had 125 left to risk. Didn't end up reducing it, but before that, so stop loss was here. What we did get on the 1 minute, after we got a massive push down, and this is why I love this. Like, this is why I think this is an algorithm, right? And I love seeing this, right? Even if I'm in the wrong, because it shows that, you know, things doesn't happen by accident. This has happened a few times this week already, right here, right? I was looking for a close below, even I put it down. Right, no, that wasn't it. Oh, I must have deleted it. But I wrote down, you'll see it. You'll see it before. But see how we don't close below this previous low. That is such a strong thing to see. Like that isn't like it's not something you should ignore, right? If you see it close below in somewhere here, like you can see that structure is looking to go downwards. When it wicks below, but the candle stays above, it shows that this is just taking out internal sell-side liquidity. It's going to go up, which it did, right? So I did even put down it's worrying because it didn't close below. It did end up hitting a 1 to 2. I kind of wish I probably should have closed out. Did it hit a 1 to 2? No, it didn't. Just below it, but I kind of wish it did. I wish I must have closed. Wish I closed out because he was like above like $500. So you know. And then I noticed we went into this 1 minute fair value gap here. And I thought, right, let's put my stop loss below this high. At that point, I saw that price came up to here, into this inverse fair value gap, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, into this inverse fair value gap, and I thought, okay, got a rejection off of that, closed below it. And I thought, right, cool. It came down here, and I think I put my stop loss then a bit below, and I thought, you know what? If it doesn't respect this order block here, I don't want to be in the trade anymore. And it didn't. It's got stopped at break even, or actually minus $5. So 0.001% I lost in this trade. That's my intentions, and this doesn't. It's not even a proper order block, but I just treated it as it was, and it just didn't. And then price came up on the 5 minute. It does make more sense. Price came up, swept these internal lows, and then rejected technically off of this 5 minute order block, because it was in this 5 minute order block range. Rejected down, breaking this structure, but not here. On the 3 minute, it looks cleaner. We got a close below, breaking this structure. As we see now, I've got that big rejection down, and as we see, beautifully again, this is why I love fair value gaps, right? Beautifully again. Oh my God, look at this, man. I've lost today and I'm happy, like because I love looking at the algorithm. Look at the candles, look at the candles, look. When you see this, look at how it's pushing. Okay, now look how it's pushing down now, right? This is what I'm saying. If you see this, right, look at how the two candles close right next to each other at the top of the fair value gap, but not outside of it. It wicks outside. This shows that the fair value gap is being respected, and it shows that the intentions are still bearish, which it now is. Bang. Right, but now it's the PM session. It's actually lunchtime session. I would never trade this, but this looks like a really nice trade. As we see here, market structure shift down. Could have entered. Let's actually put the fib out as a potential entry here. Bang. So some would probably enter here at the equilibrium, but I think the fair value gap's better. Perfectly aligned with the 0.618 fib. Put that there. Stop loss above the high. Cool. Nicely aligned. Target at 1 to 2. That's possible. That is actually possible. So yeah, it's another. Like, I'm not going to say it's a losing trade. It stopped at break even, and it was an A+ setup. Swept daily previous highs into 1 hour order block. 1 minute, 2 minute market structure shift. Was it 1 minute? No, just a 1 minute market structure shift. And we did that big push down. Really did excite me, but the fact we didn't close below it, you know, showed that clearly the intention wasn't bearish. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. I have now officially lost. Let's just work it out. Was it 375? I've lost $380 today, so that's not. It's not even 1%. It's below 1%. Good day for me. A losing day like that, good risk management. And if we look here, minus $875. That's like what, 1.7, 1.8% down. And realistically, with the correct risk management, you could make that in one trade, you know. So I'm not bothered. And we do need to take into consideration that, mate, it is no news today, and the price action is absolutely disgusting. So yeah, it is what it is for me. I do think now we're going to come down and rebalance price. We have come into this 1 hour fair value gap, but I do personally think we're going to go lower because we've got fair value gaps here, here. But if you look on the 4 hour, it's more prominent. If we look at it, fair value gap here, here. We've got sell side liquidity, but I doubt it'll go down to there because we've already swept the daily previous high. Swept a lot of sell side. But yeah, I couldn't really look for a proper long today, sadly. But you know, it's one of them things. It's been a good day in my books. I've followed all my rules. My rules isn't that I only take one trade a day. My rules is I risk 1% a day. So if I lose 0.5% in a trade and there's no setup, I risk 0.5% because it's in my risk parameters. So that is going to be it for me today. I've still got more money I can risk, but I'm not going to. I've taken 2 trades and that's that. So yeah, I will be back tomorrow, obviously. I've pretty already spoke about it, but there's news tomorrow at 6 or 7 p.m. I think 7 p.m. But again, it's no news on the AM session, so I'm hoping price is not like this again. Fine, we've got this big push up, but if you see price action here, it was disgusting on the 1 minute. When you have news and the volatility, it's much nicer. But we finally got that bearish momentum that I was looking for, but just it's at the wrong session. So yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for another trading session, and yeah, see you then. Alright, so I initially obviously was going to end the channel there, but I want to note something out really quickly. Now look at the 1 hour range. So obviously it's a 1 hour low here, it's the 1 hour high. I want you to see how pinpoint this is. Literally pinpoint. Literally pinpoint. So placed my fib out in the 1 hour, which was a target at equilibrium. Right. So we did get the downside move that I was anticipating, but we ended up getting this bit of an upside move while I stopped at break even, then we started moving down. 3 minute it looks cleaner. Yeah, so on the 3 minute it looks much cleaner. So if you was to enter, let's say at this fair value gap here, stops above, cool. Right, I want you lot to realise how pinpoint this is. See how price comes down to equilibrium in the 1 hour price range, literally pinpoint, and then shoot and then rejects off it. This is what I'm saying, right? This is why price trades and retraces back to equilibrium and fair value gaps and areas of source of liquidity, price is drawn to equilibrium, inefficiencies, and liquidity, right? And clearly, in this circumstance, in this situation, it was equilibrium. Look how pinpoint it is. This is crazy, mate. Like, this is crazy. The amount of things I've seen that shows that, you know, like, algorithmic trading is really good, showing that there is algorithmic price action. See how price is drawn to equilibrium with the 1 hour price range? Literally taps it and shoots up. Like, you can't say this is luck. The amount of times this happens, you can't say this is luck. Like, this happens on purpose. Like, today has been such a good day as an insight of, you know, of the markets. Fine, I've lost, but, you know, it is what it is. Just wanted to put that in there. But yeah, cool. See you tomorrow.